go into like CVS or Walgreens, when they start to decorate for Halloween, they always lead with the big three monsters. Dracula, Frankenstein, and older woman. She doesn't even have to be in a witch's hat. Doesn't need it. Older woman. Can your heart stand the shocking facts of what time and gravity do to the female face? And the horror you'll feel when they leave the house? The big three, Dracula, Frankenstein, and Nana.
I'm expected in my 40s to have a lot more money than I actually do. The advertisers assume you've got money to spare. They kind of know what year you're from, so they're like, hey, remember when you were a kid and you had a Nintendo and you gave it up and you got a Sega Genesis? Well, similarly, it's time to hop out of that Mercedes and squeeze into a new BMW. You're in your 40s, and I'm like, please, calm down, please. I have a bus pass on me, and I know it has $14 on it because I'm using it. I have a reckless nightlife lifestyle. I eat junk food, I'm up late, I drink a lot. I'm here with all of you tonight. What do you think we're doing tonight? This is what it's like for me every night, okay? If I want to feel seen, I need advertisements that sound like they're for a luxury car commercial, but it's actually just for just junk food. Introducing the all-new Doritos D25i. A luxury snacking experience unlike any other in the impulse aisle. Expertly crafted with bespoke spices, xanthan gum sourced in the Alps mountains, and a sodium salt power of 150% of your recommended daily allowance. The Doritos D25i, with a surprisingly crunchy exterior and a sassy, vitamin-rich interior. It'll have you reevaluating what is possible in a snacking chip experience. Drop into your Southern California Dorito dealer for a test taste today. Thanks, yeah. I'm ready to sell out. I've got the voice for it.
I will say, if you date somebody older than you, sometimes people think you have daddy issues. And they're right. My dad was an international yo-yo man for a living. That sentence should not even exist. I don't know if when you were growing up, a guy came to your school and did yo-yo demonstrations. Yeah, that's the man who made me. That's not great. I do love my dad. I think he gave me a very specific amount of daddy issues. I have enough to have become a comedian, but not enough to have an OnlyFans.
It's this is 100% true. So when my daughter was about 4.5, my wife was out of town, and we were having breakfast, and there was a little lull in the conversation, and I'm over, cleaning up some dishes and stuff, and then after about a minute, she says to me, and apropos of nothing, we had not been talking about anything like this at all. So she just comes out with this. She goes, Daddy, I'm sad you're going to die soon. And, my immediate reaction was like, oh my God. She's a witch. And I went over and I sat down next to her, and I very quickly bound her hands and legs, threw in her sack, drove to a river, and dumped her off the bridge.
I really used to think I had a way with animals. And then I realized that I just make a lot of crumbs. I just got a pack of random-ass dogs following me around. Just hoping I'll break into a muffin or something. I don't know how many times I've tried to go into a restaurant. They're like, you can't bring your dogs in here. These ain't my dog. If you could get them to piss off, that'd be great. And then I come to find they're just other people's service dogs. Yeah. Just saw me stumbling by. They're like, hey man, you wait here. I gotta help this guy. Hey, slow down, fella. I got your mail.
And I moved here from Massachusetts, and people would always ask my relatives, do you miss the seasons? And, well, it depends. You know, I love fall in Massachusetts, but winter, like, I love winter. That's why I live in Los Angeles. I love winter up until about January 1st. Then I'm done. And if you live in Massachusetts, after January 1st, all you have left to deal with is 4 more months of shit. It's too cold to do anything. It gets dark at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The world is just dead trees and dirty snow. Owls in the woods. Why? Why? Everybody's depressed. Suicide hotline, I want to kill myself. I called you. It's just so cold. Halloween in New England is awful because it's already so cold. Half the time you put on your costume and then you'd have to put your parka on over your costume and just go around the neighborhood flashing your neighbors. And like, I'm a pirate. Give me a Zack nut. Jesus Christ. Who are you? I'm C-3PO. Take my word for it. Just give me the Reese cup. I get pneumonia, for Christ's sakes.
Let it be known, I have to say, I am not anti-Semitic. I'm like the most Semitic. I love them. I won't go to the Holocaust Museum, though. Nope. I'll explain. It's not like I'm just going to move on to the next joke. He let that one hang out there for a while. No, I don't want to go to the Holocaust Museum because I am a coward. That's it. That's as simple. It happened, all right? That's not the route I'm going with this. It happened, I know it happened, and it was bad. Real bad. Like the worst. And I know that, and I'm too scared to deal with the emotions that would come with visiting a Holocaust museum. Like, that's a big day. That's wow, you don't want to do anything else? Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Does anybody here want to go to the Holocaust Museum? Okay, all right, okay. And anybody who says yes, it's always in theory. It's never like, okay, tomorrow. They're like, oh, I didn't know tomorrow. It's like, I have plans, but let's put it on a calendar and think about doing the right thing. No, we're all cowards, and that's okay. Glad the Holocaust Museum is there. It's there for education, and that's how the majority of people that go to the Holocaust Museum, they are field trips, which I find a tad ironic. That just somebody's like, oh, we got this Holocaust Museum. How are we going to get people in there? Well, we could transport them in against their will. It's like, whoa, hey. Has our marketing guy even been inside yet? Because that's like a main thing that happened. You can't just look at the pictures. You got to read the captions. They didn't just love trains, man. That one's a bit too far. That one went.
I celebrate the differences between Jews and non-Jews. If you don't think there are differences, you're out of your mind. There are. If you don't believe me, go to Home Depot. Go to Home Depot. Home Depot is a code. It means Jews, you have no business shopping in here. Everyone that's not Jewish walks in there, they know exactly what they need. I need a 3x2 bipipe with reversible threading and a drip clamp, and the guy's gone. Jews walk into Home Depot, they look constipated. And then a half hour, does anybody work here? Does anybody work here out of pity, out of Rachmanis? They come over to help us. What are you looking for there, Jew? And we have no idea what the stuff's even called. I'm looking for the thing that goes inside. It's the piece that goes in before you put the other, you screw in the piece that's in. Oh, an anchor, that's it, an anchor. Beth, it's called an anchor. Yes, my neighbor, the guy, is gonna help me put shelves up, which is one of the nicest ways to use the word guy.
Here's the thing. I love that kid so much. I really do. But at the same time, and I'm 100% sincere when I say this, I also resent her. I really do. Because she's rich. She's a rich kid. And I know it's not right. I know it's a leftover hangover prejudice I had since I was a kid. I grew up really poor, and I was always suspicious of rich people. I didn't get it. I didn't like it. And I just didn't like rich people. I still don't, you know? And I'm rich. I'm rich, you know? I mean, I'm not rich. I pay my taxes, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. And
Why do we stop burping people? It's so weird. Like, think about a baby. One of its main needs is to be burped. It cries, it's in pain. You pop it on the back a couple times, all better. Why do we cut that off at 2? All I'm saying is I'm pretty sure we could fix this country's acid reflux problem. You just gotta burp your buddy every now and again. Aren't you sick of taking all these antacid tablets to just stay alive? I'm telling you, man, we're gonna shut down Big Pharma. It's my Burp America campaign. Hook a brother up. And this really works. I mean, I'm not selling you no fish oil here. Is it snake oil? Sorry, guys, sometimes I get my animal oils mixed up. I gotta take more fish oil to remember it's snake oil. All right, not too many homeopaths out there. Oh, there's one. I'm telling you, I had some horrible acid reflux. And then one day I realized that my kids are now big enough to burp me. Like, payback's a bitch. Why don't you go get Daddy's burping beach towel and... Let's move some chili around, you know?
My kid started hitting me when he was 2 years old, out of nowhere. Just sometimes with his hand, just pop, like a pimp. Just bah! Bitch, where's my Legos? Bah! Sometimes he would use his giraffe, like a little stuffed giraffe, that he loves so much. He would just take me and he would just pop me with it. And I didn't know what to do. I was shocked. I turned into like a Tony Soprano mafia guy, all of a sudden I started threatening his giraffe. I was like, you know, it'd be a shame if something were to happen to... Accidents happen. Maybe the giraffe knows too much. Take him for a long ride. He would still do it, just hit me in the face with his giraffe. Just hit me, yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna cut the giraffe's head off and put it in his crib to send him a message. You don't mess with Cosa Nostra.
And so I was in Burlington, Vermont, drunk. Because what else are you gonna do in Burlington? Just watch white people be happy? Guys, if you've never been to Burlington, fun town. Founded in 1990 when a Fish concert collided with a zipline convention. It's just a little town of like-minded Teva sandals in the middle of a forest with a massive methamphetamine problem. Definitely go in the fall when they harvest the blueberry marshmallow vape. It's delicious. So I was there, 2 a.m, drunk in a snowstorm, and I saw a piece of art in a window that stopped me dead in my tracks. It was a photograph of a dog in an old-timey saloon playing the piano with a little handkerchief around his neck like he was some little bandito that just happened to ride into what I'm assuming is an all-dog Wild West town, probably on the back of a larger version of himself, then saw the bar, hopped off the dog, kicked open the doors, hopped in, had a shot of firewater, saw the piano, hopped up to tickle the old ivories, and the only newspaper dog in town was there at the perfect moment to snap a perfect photo. It's a goddamn piece of art. And I was like, my daughter needs this. So I went to bed, woke up the next morning, found the store. What the store is, turns out, it's a place where you can get dressed up in old-timey Wild West gear and get your picture taken in an old-timey saloon, which makes no sense for Burlington, Vermont. Like it's not in the Wild West, guys. It would make more sense if you could get dressed up as Bernie Sanders and eat some Ben & Jerry's, but whatever. That guy had a dream. He made a weird store, all right? So I go in, and I say, I love this photograph, this dog playing the piano. And the guy there, he's like, I took that photo. And I'm like, you're an artist? And he's like, do you want to know something about that? And I'm like, I do. He said, that dog wasn't actually playing the piano. It's worth so much more to me now that he thought I was just walking by and saw the photo and was like, he has photographic proof of dogs playing the piano. I gotta show this to the scientists, man. So I was like, that's amazing. I would love to buy it for my daughter. He gets very serious. He's like, oh, this photo's not for sale. This was a client. I took this photograph of a client's dog. Also, it's an heirloom frame from my wife's family. I could never part with it. And then in my head, I was like, oh no, if I don't get this for my daughter, I'm a bad dad, aren't I? And then I was like, maybe I should offer him more than I think it's worth. But the thing is, I don't know what things are worth. And I was like, should I offer him $100? Like, is this worth like a third of a gas pump? I don't know. And so then I panicked and I was just like, I'll give you $100. And he just went, are you kidding me? And I realized I had far overvalued the piano-playing dog photo market in Burlington, Vermont. And he immediately sold it to me, heirloom frame and all. And I realized that at that time, I had become the bad guy in every 80s movie ever. Just like walking into a small town with my douchebag LA money, like, oh, is it not for sale, old man? Well, now it is. But now I'm telling this story to you because I want if you're ever in Burlington, Vermont, I want you to find that store. I want you to go in there. I want you to offer that man $100 for any dog playing piano photographs he might have. Because what I want to do is I want to artificially inflate the market for dog playing piano photography in the small economy that is Burlington, Vermont, till it's no longer known for like hippies and hacky sacks, but mostly anthropomorphic dog photography. Because we can do that because that's how capitalism works.
I am a heterosexual man. I've always been attracted to females, but there are certain guys who make me nervous. You know what I mean? Like every now and then I'm just like, oh, hello. Like I never know when it's gonna happen. Like there's this guy that works in the bagel shop in our neighborhood. I can't even make direct, like he has the most mysterious blue eyes. I can't even look him directly in the face. Like as the line moves up, it's like I hope I get him, but I also don't hope I get him. Like my heart is beating faster, my mouth is dry. Finally I get up to the front, I'm just like, cream cheese, you decide. I don't know what it is, I'm not sexually attracted to him, but I just want him to like me. Desperately.
A lot of people don't know that Vancouver, we have some great tourist attractions, but our best tourist attraction is the crackhead flea market. You never know what you're going to get offered in stolen items. It's amazing. Every time you walk down the street, somebody's like, do you want to buy a Fabergé egg and a Nickelback CD? Like, not really in the market for that. How about a bike with one wheel and a microwave lid? I don't know what I could do with that. How about a broken DVD player and a half-eaten Ferrero Rocher? Sold.
Thank all of y'all and your money, hell yeah. Any poor people make it out, what's up? Hell yeah, thank you for coming out, thank you. But next time somebody asks you if you're poor, don't say nothing. That's why you're poor in the first place. You keep saying it out loud, stop that. Be cool and quiet like the riches over here. Cool and quiet, yeah. I like that, man. Rich people never tell you how much money they got. They never tell you they rich. You ask them a direct question, they give you an indirect answer, you know? You got money? Oh, we're all equal. You know, that's not what I asked. I asked if you had money, you know? That's why sometimes I gotta ask in a different way, you know, ask smoothly, subtly, be cool. Be like, hey man, you play golf? What's up? You a golf player? How you doing? You, all right. Golfers, man, they're always coy too. They're all, I play, but I'm not that good, you know? I'm a member, but I never go, you know, that kind of like, so cute. You never meet like a loud golfer, right? Like a cocky golfer, right? Come off the green like, man, I golfed the out of that round, like I've never met.
I've been doing comedy pretty much my whole adult life. I did have one day job out of college. I worked for 6 months at a day program, which is basically a daycare for adults with severe mental and physical disabilities. And, you know, I really have had so much help in my life. So my thought was like, let me go back in the world and give some of that back. And I worked there for 6 months, and that is because I couldn't take anymore. And now let's just be clear about this situation. It had nothing to do with the people that came in for the services. The problem is, every morning they would come into the facility on the short bus. And I gotta tell you, there was nothing that I could do to convince the driver that I worked there. I go, all right, man, thanks, I got it from here. Okay, buddy. Who's a good helper? Good helper, you're a good helper. Why don't you go inside, go get a person. I'm like, I'll break your wrist, sir. All my new coworkers just looking out the window laughing their ass off. Send them out again, send them out again. 6 months of that shit. I snapped one morning. I picked up a helmet and I put it on and I got on the dude's bus. I was like, take me home. I'm done here, I'm done. And now I do comedy. Career move.
I'm from 1980. I've slowly time traveled here in an unimpressive but achievable manner. The tail end of Generation X. For a hot minute, all the 1980 kids really tried to pull a fast one on America. And they were like, actually, we're neither Gen X nor millennial. We're something in between. Call us gazillennials. Here's 35 think pieces to try to convince you. And I was like, I was like, shut up, you're embarrassing all of us. We got stuck on the uncool train, you cannot hop off. You're Gen X, deal with it. Yes, and the younger Gen X people don't understand some of the things about the older Gen X generation, like Elvis Costello, but like, that doesn't make you your own generation. And if there's something I believe in more than anything in this country, it's the generation, like designating and criticizing generations. That's what this country was built on. That's an important industry in this country. It employs tens of thousands of people. Generational science, of course. As a generational researcher, I have many things to say about the topic. If you're following generation science, as I like to call it right now, they have a controversy. You look at a Wikipedia page of any generation, they don't know what to call the next ones. They had Gen X, they had Gen Y, now they're at Gen Z. They're the ones growing up and showing up places, and now they're like, what do we call the next people? What could possibly come after Generation Z? We're at the end. I suppose we could round the horn and go to AA or something. Reset the system. My God, who could have foreseen it? Why did you start the countdown at the third to last letter of the alphabet? You had 23 other options to enter. I know the answer to that. The answer to that is Generation X was the first generation of people that had to be shamed en masse. Before that, all the generations were just compliments. They are the greatest generation. Well, they're the silent generation. These ones, they're the baby boom. Bop, bop, baby boom. We're just babies. We f everything up, but we're babies. I'm a 75-year-old baby that owns everything. It's not my fault.
I find a balance and a fairness in this world, just an equilibrium whenever I see an attractive person getting on a Southwest flight last. That's when I know that there is some small undercurrent of justice in this world. You know, you just see a supermodel, just somebody gorgeous, a gorgeous individual, and then you see that C on their boarding card, and you know they have no idea. And you're like, oh, honey, you're about to learn how the world really works. Yeah, you got bumped off a United flight or something, now you're here with the great unwashed. This is gonna be fun. Because they always stand at the front of the plane with nothing but middle seats open. They're just like, I can't, but why? But what am I gonna do? You're gonna rub some elbows with some stinkers. That's what you're gonna do. Squeeze in here with some slobs coming home from Vegas and make some friends.
And I love horror movies, you know, that's where I grew up on. Do you love horror movies? You have a favorite horror movie? Get Out. Get Out? I like Pretty Woman. You thought I said horror. Understandable, no. No, I like it. I like it. I love, have you ever seen Blackula? Blackula is fantastic. 1972, William Marshall plays Blackula. The first scene in Blackula, Dracula bites a black guy. This is easily anticipated if you know the name of the movie you're watching. And then Dracula goes, I christen you Blackula. And they cut. And I wish they would just hold it for 5 more seconds. So you can hear Blackula go, ha ha ha. What the did you say my name was? Just to watch Dracula backpedal. Look, as the king of vampires, I come from a position of privilege that I clearly didn't take into consideration when I made that joke, which is not indicative of my feelings in any way. I won't even eat Count Chocula. Like, I'm committed. I want you to know my truth. That's what this is about. And then all the bros with podcasts will drag Dracula for backpedaling to Blackula. Gotta double down on that all the time. You gotta just double down. That's the problem. There's no real men anymore.
I moved to Minnesota last year in the month of January. And that's how you die. 8-month winters are brutal. God. When I hit my 1-year mark of living there, some of my friends were like, oh, how did you celebrate? I was like, oh, I just walked into my bathroom like it was a prison cell and etched one tally. I did learn a lot by moving there then. I learned that, God forbid you try using a bidet there in the winter. That water feels like local anesthesia. Did not feel my beehole for 5 months. It's such a weird state. Right when I moved there, I turned on the TV and there were commercials for vacations to Alaska. And that's when I knew I fucked up. I was like, oh, these are broken people. If Alaska is their Cancun. Living in Minnesota and going on vacation to Alaska is like owning a Nissan Sentra and going on vacation and renting a Nissan Sentra. That's the same terrible. Minnesota was a tough sell, though. I found out also when I got there that they have some of the highest state taxes. I was like, for why? You're cold and expensive? That's like a dog who's ugly and bites. Put it down. Let's get out of here. Skedaddle. And I moved there from Washington where there are no state taxes. So now anytime my boyfriend tries to start a fight with me, I'm like, oh, let me remind you that being your girlfriend now costs me $38 a day. Let me set the thermostat to 72. Off. Let's pick our battles today.
Elevators, right? Little boxes of awkwardness. We travel up and down with strangers. Ah, my playground. If I'm on the inside, I stand right up against the closed doors. And when they open, I go, yay, you made it. We're going to be best friends. We're going to be best friends. Oh, where you going? They're taking the stairs. Flip it and reverse it, right? Missy Elliott, that You're about to get on the elevator, be wrapping up a fake phone call, okay? You get on, you're like, hey, yeah, no, I'm getting on the elevator, so I might lose you, but don't worry. When I get home, it's freaky deaky time. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, okay. All right. Bye, Mom. Oh, 12th floor, please. 12, thank you.
I long for the days of right before smartphones. I feel like that was the peak fun cell phone era, right? 2006, 2007. They were trying to get smart. There were all these weird new phones that came out all the time. They had like a keyboard that slid out of the side. They were all made of plastic. They had little doors in them. A lot of them had an antenna you could pull up for some reason. Like, time for a big call. Why? Just make it work all the time. Did that ever save a call? Was it like, I'm losing you, hold on. Oh, nope, got you back, yeah. No, I had an extra 2.5 inches of antenna in the chamber. Crystal clear now. But then the iPhone hit, 2008, right? Changed everything. They were like, look at this. They came to the mall, they had little kiosks. They're like, this is the phone of the future. It's made out of glass. You know that stuff that breaks? Yeah, we made the whole phone out of that. So anyway you drop it, smash. Can you make it not break? No, but when you buy it, we will also sell you a little suit of armor for it that makes it too big to fit in any pants. The big piece of tech that they were so excited about was like, this is what makes it the greatest phone. Is you can hold it like this, and it's a phone. You can turn it sideways, and you can watch a video. And it knows when you turn it, and it turns on its own. And we were all like, wow. Flash forward to today, anytime my phone turns, I am furious. I'm like, why is it turning? Stop turning. I'm in bed. You should know I'm in bed. You know everything about me, phone. The first thing they had to do on the next iPhone they released was make it so you could turn off turning. They're like, we're sorry about all the turning. You can turn turning off now. Turning's turned off, there's a thing, you slide down, no turning. Turning's off, but then you have to remember turning's turned off, because sometimes you try to turn it, you're like, hang on, I turned turning on. Then you gotta slide it down, turn turning on, and then turn it till it knows it's turned. You'd think there'd just be a button to turn it, but no, that's not how it works. You open up the turning, then you turn it till it's aware that it's turned, then you tilt it too far back and it goes upside down, you're like, hold on. And that's it. They haven't improved it since then. There's been not a lot of new tech coming, no slide-out keyboards, no antennae. They moved the headphone jack around a little bit. We had to live through that saga. They were like, it's on the top, it's on the bottom, it's back on top. Then we went, we don't really care where it is. And they went, well, then you don't get it anymore. We took it away. Everything comes out of one hole in the bottom now, like a bird.
I was with a group of dudes, and I was outnumbered as far as the soundtrack of the trip went, and so they wanted to listen to jam bands, and I found a new kind of hell for myself. If jam bands are your thing, good for you. Bless your heart on that stuff. I do not hear a jam. I never hear a jam. I hear 5 stepdads who do not know how to end a song. That's what I hear. I don't care what name of the band you tell me it is. It's one band that names them all. It's called Noodly Lou and the Turd Herders. And it's 5 dads in cargo shorts, and one guy wants to end it. You know, one guy in the band. There's no end to this joke. It just goes on. in being faithful to that genre of music, the joke just goes on until everybody's like, we do have to get out of here. That really...
So I know a lot of you saw me get 3rd place on America's Got Talent. Yes, thank you. America's Got Talent is an amazing show to be part of. It is definitely a little weird because it's the largest talent show in the world. But it's like comedy versus whatever, right? Like, do you like one-legged unicyclists? How about 2 dogs in a duffel bag? Doesn't make any sense, this show. And I don't mind getting 3rd place. That's actually great. You know, I'm touring all over, and, well, I'm here tonight. Well, because this is what 3rd gets you. Yeah, you, Hollywood. I'm going to Greenwood Village. Yeah. Vegas can suck it too. I'd rather be here any damn day. Well, I live here. It's great, you know. Again, 3rd place is amazing, but the thing is, me getting 3rd place just proves once again that Americans have no idea how to vote. Every chance you get, you f*** it up, man. Oh, well, this guy seems like a real dumbass, huh? That's my guy, yeah. America's Got Talent, though, is they want to like get you to say crazy things in these interviews, so they'll be goating me like, so Josh, do you think that you're funnier than a little girl that can sing Pavarotti? I'm sure hope so. I know I could hip check her in the hallway. I never wanted to beat up kids more in my life. Little talented. Get out of here. I will say this about America's Got Talent. It's very inclusive to the disabled community. Yeah. I mean, some people call it exploitation, but that's... No, it is a very inclusive show. Like, you know, I have cerebral palsy, and there's amazing acts like Cody Lee. He's blind and autistic. Man, he's amazing. Such an amazing talent. And then, like, it just all walks of life, like ballerinas with no arms, and like all the way down to magicians. I'm not sure what spectrum that is, but they're definitely on it. Again, I don't mind getting 3rd place. But do you understand how humiliating it is to lose to a magician? I've never been more embarrassed in my whole life, I'm telling you. But here's the thing about magic, man. It just gets me so bad because we're a room full of adults. You guys all understand that magic isn't real, right? You get that, right? They tell you up front. It's called a trick. Okay, I'm gonna trick you now. And then somehow you're still like, ah! Oh my God! Oh! Oh! Oh my God! Where did my nickel go? The fucking creep stole it from you. Magic, I hate that shit. Biggest bunch of I ever seen in my life. I didn't like magic before this, but now. Yeah, the other day my son tried to show me a magic trick. I was like, not in this house. You see, son, we have dignity. Not like these fake-ass wizards. Little Harry Potter. Hey, you guys want to see a trick? That's actually what a pimp says. And I'd much rather my son be a pimp than a magician. Like, listen, man, I don't know where you pulled that rabbit out of, but I know where you can stick it. All right. I knew there were some filthy magic lovers out there. There's a dark arts. Come on. I gotta say, a lot of you are laughing, but I can see quite a few people just looking at me like, well, he was such a nice boy on television. I'm a real boy. Just got my strings cut off. Yeah. Still working it out. It's a Pinocchio joke, guys. I feel like some of you didn't get that. I don't know why you wouldn't have got my reference from a cartoon from the 40s. Did you know that there is an actual list of all the talents in the world? There's a huge compiled list of all, and it's a pecking order, of worth and value. And it's a very it's a huge list. I mean, it's it's so long, and I actually memorized it. And I was gonna give you a rundown of what's on the list. Obviously, we don't have time for the whole list. But a good example is at the very top is stand-up comedy. And then the next rung down is astronauts. And then dolphins. And Michael Jordan. And then I'll just scroll down, a bunch of pages down. And then we get to improv groups. And then juggalos. And then guitar acts. And then the Irish. And just calm down. The list is still really long. You're pretty high up, Irish. You're doing good. It's a very long list. Don't be so quick to judge here. And again, I just gonna scroll down to interesting rocks, and then chia pets, and then big kites, and then down. And we go. I'll just go to the bottom where you finally get to mimes, and then mentalists. And a mentalist is just a magician that's smart enough not to call themselves that. And then ventriloquists. And then Joe Rogan. And then you finally get on down to the filthy magicians. Very bottom, very bottom, very bottom.
So something I've learned is that a lot of people don't realize that comedians know how to not be comedians off stage. Like some people just think we're always set to clown mode or something. Because a few years ago, my mom got sick and she was in the hospital for part of the time. And 3 weeks in, her doctor turns to me and goes, "So I heard you're a comedian." And I was like, "Yeah, I am." He goes, "Oh, just surprises me because I don't really get a funny vibe from you." And I was like, "Well, my mom's still in the hospital after 3 weeks, so I'm not really getting a great doctor vibe." I can be petty off the clock too, bitch. I will do it for free. Also, what does a funny vibe look like to this guy? We're in a hospital. You think I'm gonna walk through the waiting room honking boobs like, hee 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 hee? It's like, people are bleeding out. You gotta clock out sometimes. But here's the thing. When my mom was in the hospital, she ended up getting diagnosed with dementia, which has, of course, been the most heartbreaking thing to go through. But she is so smart and so funny that even with dementia, she's still pretty crafty, like still tries to prank people. So she and my brother were talking. He thought it was going well. And then all of a sudden, she just starts shouting, "Nurse! Nurse!" And my brother's like, "Oh my God, Mom, I'm right here. What do you need?" The nurses come running in. They're like, "Kathy, oh my God, what's going on?" And my mom just goes, "Look how handsome my son is." I'm like, are you out of your f***ing mind? You cannot be the mom who cried hot son. You're gonna get kicked out of the home. Because now I feel like next time she actually needs help, the nurse is just gonna pop her head around from 50 feet away and be like, "Oh, let me guess, Kathy, is your daughter funny? Is that what you're screaming at us for?" It'd be so great if she was like, "She's okay." Not really get a funny vibe from her. Just want some apple juice.